moving in 2019. Memberships, gas and electricity, taxes, internet. So today is Monday, 25 March 2024. I'm Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. This is my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi, and so I'm going to talk through / recap / reflect on a few of the logistics for moving from California to Washington State in 2019. So it was started 31 October 2019 and ended early to mid-November 2019 with the physical moving of things, and then the lease officially ended in California 30 November 2019, once we got everything all figured out, kind of thing. The lease is for a different video covering that aspect of the move. So this one is going to be focused on memberships, gas and electricity, taxes, and internet. So let's go through memberships. This included professional memberships. I was in school in geophysics, so I think I still had, or I had already dropped, but it was about that time, my membership for the American Geophysical Union. There was the American Mineralogical Society. There was International Association for Volcanology and Science of the Earth's Interior, or something like that. Which that one ended later. But the point here is, so there were a few of those, and then I also had a YMCA membership. So I had a lot of memberships. Oh, and I had the Metals and Materials Society or something. I had a lot, and I even had a spreadsheet for all of the different memberships I had as part of my work in science. And so in addition to that, I had a YMCA membership. And so in moving back, what I did for the YMCA membership is I emailed the YMCA saying I had moved and could I cancel my membership, and that went without a problem, but I had to figure out how to do it, and so I chose to email for that one. For the other ones, what I ended up doing was, it was actually a little bit of a juggle, because for some of them, oh, and there was the American Physical Society and stuff. So there was a bunch of stuff, but I might have ended, it was like already kind of a shuffle as to what I was ending and like keeping and that kind of stuff. And so for some of them, I think I had used my University of California, Berkeley email to sign up for, and that was gone. It like ended 60 days after I was no longer a student or something like that. It goes away, the email address. So I had to figure out how to change my address, and like if I didn't have the passwords, like how to get troubleshoot my way through signing in to change my address. So that was actually, it took me a fair amount of work to get that done. Yes. Moral of the story is I now have a physical book that I write passwords in. Yes. Okay. Which I started maintaining in before then. But yeah, it was like making sure, and like even if things change, like I'm dating the changes and stuff like that. So yeah. But thinking through also, well, yeah. In the future, if I were to have more than one email, think through in advance what would happen if I did not use that email anymore. That kind of thing. Okay, so the second one was gas and electricity. So that I lived in not an apartment. It was a big house with, I think it was 4 units, and I shared a unit with 2 other tenants, and I was in charge of the gas and electricity bill. And like making sure it was paid and collecting the money from the other tenants and stuff. And so, not to be confused with the landlord, I just did gas, electricity, and internet. Water was covered by the people who owned the house. And so I included contacting my tenants in kind of, I had to look at the website, and transferring the accounts to people was like not a problem. Like they signed up and ID signed, kind of thing. But it required communication and research with the company that we were getting the gas and electricity from, to make sure that the transition was as smooth as possible. So that was done. So multiple pathways there. Taxes. So because I changed states, right? Living in Washington State, remembering that when it was time to file taxes, the university did not send, so I was working through the University of California, Berkeley, and they didn't actually send me a W-2. So that was a nightmare to figure out. Like, especially since I didn't have my University of California, Berkeley email, and somehow I did. I found a different way into the system other than through email, and there were like the University of California, Berkeley were going through a bunch of like changes in their financial structuring, and so through one of the things that I wasn't shut out of because I didn't have my UC Berkeley email, I managed to figure out what I had done and get in and get my W-2 that way. But they didn't mail it. I was like, okay. And I updated it with the university, so I think that was taxes, university, address / like retirement account. Taxes / retirement account. Yeah, well, I'm covering it. It might not, yeah. And so, yeah. I'm lumping them together here topically, but temporally, I do not remember. I think I updated it in one and I updated it in both or something. Or no, I came in later, but it was that year. That was 2020. I got to that. And then last, internet. So I was in charge of internet for the unit as well as gas and electricity. So that one worked the same. And I forgot my modem in California. Well, I didn't forget because I left and they were still using the internet. So we communicated about getting one of them in charge of the account, me getting off the account, and then they mailed the modem to me here in Washington State. And that came back in January 2020. I got that. So like if you want the last of my physical belongings arrived in January 2020. Over 4 years ago. So, yeah, but it was, I guess when I left it there, it was not leaving it as my belonging, it was letting them use it, and they decided they wanted a different modem, so they decided to send it to me. So technically not my belonging, but like, I view it as a gift, not a gift, a present, but like, it wasn't, yeah. So that's it. Moving in 2019, memberships, gas and electricity, taxes / retirement account, internet, projecting this forward, so if I live with my soulmate and or soulmates, thinking about, am I going to get a membership? And like if I'm living with a soulmate who's an athlete, is there facility access or memberships that come with that? Is there, how do I need to transfer my retirement account stuff, right? Like, or if I still have money in the retirement account and I still have a retirement account from this time, I'm filming this 25 March 2024, the same retirement account counts. Figuring out how to close those down, right, and get stuff transferred to wherever I'm living, especially if I'm living abroad. Like, let's figure out what to do in the new home country. Gas and electricity and internet, and maybe are the sugar daddies covering it? And if I have enough income, do I get help? I don't know. So that kind of thing. My sugar daddies love being sugar daddies, at least supposedly. I think it's reflected in some of their manicures. Okay. At least one of theirs. So thank you for joining me, and that's a little bit about moving in 2019, memberships, gas and electricity, taxes / retirement account,